Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Toast Performance of the Week. Remember, if you like these videos, to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell and smash that like button. This week we'll be toasting our Performers of the Week with the Dalmore Valor, which is a travel exclusive, and we'll be toasting to the Celtic football team and the Irish rugby team. To find out more about why we're toasting to these teams and a little bit more about this whiskey, stay tuned after this intro. Roll intro. Guys, before we get into the serious stuff of the sport, let's talk about the fun stuff. This whiskey. Now, I could sit here and take a drink and let you know my thoughts, but that would be boring. Let's see what other people who are a lot more intelligent in whiskey than I am think about this whiskey. So, on the Whiskey Exchange, this whiskey actually achieves a 4.5 stars out of 13 reviews. So looking through these reviews, the really only bad review here is a 3-star review from January 2018. It reads, "I'm a big fan of the Dalmore, especially Dalmore 12. Tried Dalmore Valor, but something was missing. Not the richness of flavours that he expected." It's quite a fair point, if that's what he was expecting. Personally, I quite like the flavours in this whiskey, but having a flick through here, there's quite a few 5 stars. Perfect after lunchtime on Christmas Day, so I guess that would be a good time to have a whiskey after lunchtime, Christmas Day. Another 5-star rating, 21st of August, a couple of years ago. "The best whiskey I've ever had." That's a bold statement. Good, but bold. The next one, next 5-star here. "The Dalmore Valor is by far one of the finest whiskies I've ever purchased. The wonderful smooth aftertaste remains with you for a long time." I actually quite agree with this comment. It does have a beautiful aftertaste, and it does remain there quite a bit. Let's have one more. Let's see. One more 5-star. I think this review sums it up quite perfectly. It says, "Easy to drink, nice aroma, and spice flavour. Pleasant." So guys, this was my take on the Dalmore Valor. So moving on to the sport, guys, our first toast performance of the week goes to Celtic Football Club. This is actually the second time the Celtic Football Club has featured in this segment. This week, Celtic played Rangers at Ibrox in the first Old Firm of the season. I think it's the first time since Rangers came back to the top flight of Scottish football that when Celtic went there, they weren't the favourites. They were the underdogs according to the bookies. But it's like nobody told Celtic that. You know, looking at the performance, looking at how they went about the game, they really bossed the game. They really told Rangers, "Listen, we're here. We're top dogs in this league. We're top dogs in this country. We haven't won our last 8 titles for no reason. We're not relinquishing control of these titles. We're not lying down in our bid for our 9th title so easily. If you want it, you're going to have to take it kicking and screaming." And nothing really said that more than Scott Brown's performance this week in the Old Firm. You know, his last 2 performances in Ibrox have been pretty poor. He's been really bossed in both games. He's really underperformed, but this time it wasn't so. There was one incident in particular where it was a 50-50 ball, and in reality, it was a 70-30 ball, not in favour of Scott Brown, but he absolutely was determined to get that ball. He smashed the Rangers player, and he came out victorious. He came out hard with that ball, and that real grit and determination drove Celtic forward. It really propelled them in this game. It really sent them forward with incisive play, which really carved the Rangers' defence to pieces. Now, I know that Rangers had a man sent off, but in reality, the game was practically, the writing was on the wall before the sending off. And Celtic ran out, eventual 2-0 winners. So, to Celtic football team, Toast Performance of the Week. In an unusual turn of events, we have a second Toast Performance of the Week this week, guys. And our second Toast Performance of the Week goes to the Irish international rugby team. I know it's a little bit biased here towards Ireland, some would say, that this week, Celtic and the Irish rugby team. But I really do believe that they were the two standout performances of the week. The reason the Irish rugby team got this accolade this week was because of how they rebounded from their absolute humiliation last week against England, where they suffered the record ever loss in World Rugby, and they came back with I know it was just a World Cup warm-up game, but the same was against England the week before. I know the team that was put out by Joe Schmidt was experimental, and he was trying to figure out his final 31 for the World Cup in Japan. And I know that a lot of Ireland's mainstay players, and in that Wales's mainstay players, weren't on the pitch. But this really this performance really showed the grit and the determination that Ireland had. They went out to Wales. They stopped Wales. Was it 13 games in a row? Their unbeaten record. They put an end to that. Jacob Stockdale had 2 amazing tries, and I think at one point the scoreboard even read 22 to 3 points. Now I know Wales rallied towards the end of the game and sneaked in with a couple of tries. I know that the score was quite close in the end, finishing up 22-17. But there was amazing performances from Bundy Aki, from Stockdale, from Jack Crorty. Some players that really put their names on that sheet to get on the plane to go to Japan. And my second Toast Performance of the week this week, guys, goes to the Irish rugby team. Congratulations, guys. I very much hope in a number of short weeks that I will be toasting a Japanese whiskey to an Irish Rugby World Cup win. That's all for this week, guys. Remember, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and ring that notification bell. Thank you. Bye-bye.